Intuition, and thanks for tuning in. We were just talking about a couple very internal, personal issues. We were discussing our gut reaction and our intuition. On that, our second topic is also on some very internal issues. It's on the Pope's development of a new set of social sins. And there's 7 of them. This came out, I would say, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Right? And I'll read them to you guys so we know what they are and we can discuss. The first new sin is a bioethical violations, which would be like birth
contraception.
Control. Yeah, contraception, birth control. Okay. The second, morally dubious experiments such as stem cell research. Girl, you're on it. Third is drug abuse. The fourth is polluting the environment. The fifth is contributing to widening the divide between rich and poor, which is constantly a problem. Yeah. 6 is excessive wealth. Yeah. And then 7th is creating poverty. This is so interesting to me because there are some. This is interesting for a number of reasons, but the first that the old, I guess, set of sins were very personal, right? It was like gluttony, sloth, lust. Like these are all things that affected you, but this new set, right? Exactly. This new set very much touches on like society, polluting the environment and creating the divide between rich and poor.
Much more specific too. It's instead of just like the one where like gluttony, it's more like the like bioethical.
It affects more as a whole instead of personally.
Right.
So
or like the major issues of today.
Yeah.
Like the whole controversy over the stem cell research, and like passing out contraception in middle school, like things like that. So it was just kind of like.
It's interesting too, though. To me, some of this, I don't know. My personal opinion, I guess, on this will come in a few minutes. But to put birth control on the same level as polluting the environment or poverty, right? Like that's, I don't know. I'm not really sure that they deserve the same level of sin, if even at all.
Right. Because poverty was a problem or something.
It is.
Yeah, it is a problem.
It is. I find some of these very honorable to put them on this list and say this is an issue. I don't know so much as a sin. Oh gosh, this is so touchy.
I know it is very touchy.
But I mean, economy-wise, he's the last few with poverty and
excessive wealth.
Excessive wealth. I mean, think about it. People with excessive wealth, what do? They buy luxury items. They put things in the stock. That's how everything.
I mean, it just keeps the world going in a way, I guess.
Yeah, and then I mean, the divide of poor and rich. We need to have a good economy, and we need a strong middle class.
Exactly.
And that's what's wrong with our economy sometimes is that our middle class isn't so middle anymore.
It's
slowly
going.
Right. So I mean, he has some good issues, but it's issues on a whole. And how do you put a whole one sin on a whole group of people?
And do you think
you have to change personally first? And so I think the personal sins work better because you work personally on them than as a group effort.
I think this sin was more like he was looking at the whole evils of the globalization of today, and it was very obvious. But
because that's where we're going. I mean, you
can't
deny
help
that
it.
we're
exactly.
Globalization is the new
and you
frontier.
can't help it that the age group of people that are having sex these days, it's getting younger and younger.
It's true.
And
it's sad.
And it's really sad. But so he says that, we have to close the divide of the excessive wealth and the poor. Like we have to close it in or something. But the thing is, okay, so if we're going to be against contraception, what causes poverty in the first place? What do you look at those, the most impoverished, countries? Highly populated, right? And what are we trying to do, like in places such as Africa? We're trying to make awareness of safe sex, right? Because of AIDS.
Exactly.
I mean, there's just so many things that contradict it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just, it's like, geez,
To me, faith is a very personal issue. And so when these 7 sins dealt with, personal attributes to work on, it didn't seem to be that much of an issue. But when it turns into, and this is what I'm going to ask you, one man telling everybody else, this is this is wrong, etc. That's what I kind of have a problem with it. I
It's a
feel like it
man-made
needs.
rule.
I feel like it needs to remain, personal with yourself. Now,
Then again, I'm sure another person of that religion could counter argue.
well, of course,
Right.
I know, and I wish.
I want to know more too. I want to know
Yeah.
more too.
Yeah.
And I mean, because I would know, I was talking with a couple of my friends that are of that religion. They would argue like factual stuff, like Peter. They'd bring up Peter and how he was breathed on upon Jesus to allow to tell us the sinners to be like what to do, how to follow God more and whatnot. And I don't know, they were just going about. But it's just a lot of people did argue that he's a man. He's a sinner. He's an imperfect person
Right.
and an imperfect church, and of hypocrisy. Like, how is he to
Yeah.
tell the rest of the world how to live our lives? And things
And
like
here's,
that.
here's the question too. Do you think that a lot of people are really going to accept this and live by it? Do you think a lot of people took it seriously and they saw it in the news and they were like, oh my god, I need to start recycling?
But it made you think about it, though.
Well, no, it's true.
See,
It's,
and
I
I think-
wonder how many people are actually going to take this like mantra and apply it to their
Right.
lives now.
And as
You know.
imperfect as he is, but I think he's taking his stand and telling people that even if it's Mother Teresa or the president, and it's a representative,
Mhm.
and he said he's
Period.
representing what's right.
Well,
And I think that
yeah.
he's trying to represent that. And whenever he brings up these issues that we can't really talk about because
Yeah.
it's not
right.
It
As
is touchy.
imperfect
yeah,
as
it's very
as,
touchy, and
right.
it's in the X-Files. Whenever you talk about it with strangers,
True.
you kind of shun that away.
It's true.
And I think he wants to be a person that is
He's just
a
sending out a-
dignitary that lets everyone
right.
know.
It's a dignified, like there's some dignified truth to it. Though he's imperfect, as our leaders are imperfect all the time, they have a message that can always teach us,
And it's a message that will represent a lot of people, and
Right.
that we need to know.
make the world a better place.
And that's what we want. Make the world a better
There
place.
you go.
Thank you, Michael Jackson.
Yeah. We'll be right back on Intuition.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need